Welcome to Street Talk Radio Show with your host, Natasha Nicole, and my beautiful co-host calling in remotely this morning. Gigi, are you there?
I'm here this morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. This morning in the studio, you guys, we have Kim Kill from Keller Williams Realty and Rob McGee from Academy Mortgages this morning. Introduce yourself, guys.
Whoop, whoop. Good morning, everybody. This is Kim Kiel Stahoviak. I'm with Keller Williams. I've been at that fabulous company for probably 15 years, and I tell you, the market is going strong. If you don't have a home, you should get one. Call me up. And this is my great lender buddy, Rob. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Rob.
Oh, good morning. My name is Rob McGee. I am the co-manager of Academy Mortgage in Pierce County, and here just to help and answer questions.
Awesome. Jennifer.
Oh, good morning.
Making sure you are still with us. Yes.
Welcome to our show. I tell you, can you help us with first telling us something about what you do, and kind of in my mind, helping people, what can you tell people to help them be prepared when they come to you to get a house?
Well, I can tell you in this market, it is, as a lot of people are aware, it's a very competitive market, and Kim will speak on that a little bit. But I can tell you one of the first things you want to do is know how much home you can buy. Get pre-qualified. Get yourself in a position where you know when you find that right house, you've got a approval letter that you can hand to Kim so that she can present that to a prospective seller and put the best offer in for you. So I think one of the first things you want to do is do a little bit of homework, know what you qualify for, how much home you can afford, and that will help to direct what type of homes you're looking for. Do you agree with that, Kim?
Okay, I'm going to keep it real. The first thing is get off HGTV, okay, because y'all seen all these cute, fancy homes and Zillow, Redfin, all that stuff. You have to first talk to a professional to find out where you are, because what happens is you go see these cool, beautiful homes, and you're like, oh, I want that. But then you turn around and you're only approved for this, so you got to figure out how you got to come down from the clouds and get what you want. You know, it's first-time buyers most times. Properties are very expensive right now, and they are possible for people to purchase, but you've got to first get qualified so you know where to start and you know what you need to do. A lot of people right now think they can't buy. They think they can't buy. You know, they're driving these Escalades and, you know, going to apartments and things like that. But I tell you, if you get yourself together, talk to a lender, figure out, and they can direct you on what you need to do. A lot of people think they know. They said, oh, I got to work on my credit score. I got to pay this. I got to pay that. And sometimes you're paying the wrong things. So get to a professional, find out what items need to be paid down, what you need to work on getting removed from your credit, and start there.
Awesome. I think that is a really good starting point, Kim, what you just said, because a lot of people don't understand that they can have some debt.
Right.
And it's just which kind of debt
exactly
is not, it's what's holding them back from getting qualified for a home loan. So I think them going to see one of you guys to get that professional expertise, basically, because it is. You guys know exactly what they need to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great start. Gigi, you wanted to say something there?
No, I was saying excellent start. And I so agree with you on, you know, starting and knowing where to start and knowing what they need to get rid of in their debt and how to clean up their debt. Can you give this a quick, not everything, because we want them to come to you, but a quick synopsis of some of the things that, yes, it's okay to have, and no, you need to get rid of this?
You know, each and every person's different, but I'm going to let Rob give you some general information on that.
And Kim's absolutely right. Every circumstance, every person has a unique story and credit picture. But I can tell you, just on some broad strokes, debt that is okay to have is debt that you are current on, accounts that have been long held accounts in good standing. That's good debt to have. One of the things that will help you work on is having the right utilization of those accounts. Very often your credit could be, your pay history could be perfect, but if you are utilizing almost 100% of your available credit line, that does not give you the positive points that it could. Whereas if you paid down an account to less than 50%, for example, of your credit line, in other words, if you have a $1,000 credit line and you're running a $1,000 balance, you'll have much more positive credit points if you pay that balance down to below 500. You'll see an immediate improvement. And those are the kinds of things that we can help you with. And then the kind of debt you don't want to have is anything that is outstanding collections. So if you've had some trouble in the past and you're still kind of working through past bad debt experience, it's good to get that resolved. Sometimes you can negotiate with a collection agency. You can settle the debt for less, but oftentimes it's good to get that off of your record. However, please talk to us first, because if something's really old, we may not want to have you touch it at all. Right. If it's gotten so old that it's really no longer dragging down your score, let's not do anything, because paying it can actually refresh that date. So there's a lot of ins and outs, and we would love to, we'd go over your individual circumstance personally.
Awesome. So since we're on the topic of credit right now,
yes,
what's one of the lowest scores you guys have seen someone get qualified for? Because I know I've read a lot of articles, and
yes,
there's some programs that can qualify people like 600, depending on where the rest of their debt is. And then I've read some programs are taking people at like 550, depending on what's going on. And I know those scores are pretty low.
Yeah.
But just to give Rob, I think since we got you in here, we might as well pick your brain.
Sure, absolutely. I one time had a representative from one of the credit bureaus tell me, you get a score of 350 just for being alive. Oh. So you start at about a 350 point, and then you're building up from there. You can have a score as high as in the 800s, as high as 850, if your credit is perfect and your utilization is low, and your scores, your payment history has always been just spot on. You can have a score up in the 800s. The most common scores that we tend to see are in the high 600s to low 700s on average. However, that doesn't mean you have to have that score to buy a home, to qualify for buying a home. As you were just talking about, we have programs at Academy Mortgage. We have programs that start at 580 and go up from there. So there are programs that are available. There are some agencies that have programs that go a little bit lower than that. Generally speaking, there is a pretty substantial penalty in fee and interest rate if you drop too much below that, because you're considered, that's when we get back into what's called subprime lending, and you just don't see a whole lot of that today. But generally speaking, if you're over a 580 score, we can start looking at the possibility of getting you into a home, or getting an approval for you to give to Kim, and then every point above that just improves your situation and will get you a better interest rate.
Okay, so with that 580, 600 mark, something like that, they're really probably not qualifying, because I know Seattle market, where I live, it's a little higher. We went looking, absolutely. We've been looking this last week, and we've been looking at just foreclosed homes. Yes. And even some of those are still $500,000.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. And it's like, and you look at them and
Move
you tour them.
Pierce County.
And they still need a little bit of work.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if I'm going to give $500,000 for this house, and then it still might need $20,000 worth of work.
At least. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, maybe I want to look at something that's already put together. Yep. And so maybe that's when I need to be talking to one of you guys.
Absolutely.
Pierce County. Yeah. Our market is a lot better, and there's a lot, and the problem that we're having is there's a lot of King County people with the better paying jobs with more money coming out and beating out our first time buyers that need down payment and closing costs help, when we have people who say, hey, I got all the money, so I'm going to come down here and offer $10,000, $20,000 over asking price, on a house in Pierce County, because we have the Sound Transit, we have all the ways that I can commute where I don't have to drive and get to work, and it's going to be feasible for me to do it. And I'm going to save, a whole lot more money and get a way bigger, better house in Pierce County than in Seattle.
Yeah. Right, because some of the houses out there in my area, they're little. You're just like, wow.
Really? Yeah.
Wow, you guys want 3.
No, but those type of people are also boosting the prices of houses in Pierce County, which will make the homes in Pierce County harder to find because it's going to boost the prices. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's talking about the folks from Seattle coming down. That's causing more competition in Pierce County, and that's causing Pierce County prices to rise. And absolutely, Pierce County is following King County in the valuations. It's kind of like a ripple in a pond if you throw a stone, and it forms that bullseye look.
Right.
And Pierce County is rising, and then Thurston is following behind Pierce, and so on. The further you get away from Seattle, the lower the prices tend to be, but we're following them. And Kim, I think you were telling me Pierce County has hit the average purchase price is now over $300,000.
It's right around there. We're about 290 somewhere around there, and that's a lot of money for first-time buyers. It really is.
It is.
So, but what I always tell people is, stop renting. Get in where you fit in, because if you're buying a house and doing it yourself, you're going to build equity. It may not, if it's your first home, it's not going to be everything that you want.
Right.
Okay. But it's going to be yours.
Right.
Okay. And you're going to start building equity instead of paying somebody's rent where they're, them owners going on vacation every year off of your hard-earned money.
Right.
So get in where you fit in. And in the next 3-4 years, you'll have some equity and some down payment to go get what you really want.
Yeah. Right.
And instead of renting for that next 3 or 4 years, you're still in the same situation. So, if you don't have to have 2 bathrooms, or you don't have to have a family room and an open kitchen to the great room and all that, look at where you're living right now. It's an apartment, most people, an apartment or somebody's home, just buy the best house that you can find and then work your way to getting what you want.
As soon as you buy a home, it goes to work for you.
Yep.
Because you start earning that equity, which is going to help you on the next home you buy, and it becomes a tax write-off for you.
Great tax
Right.
benefits.
So it goes to work for you day one.
Right, and which I would say, a lot of my family members, they started in those types of homes that Kim had mentioned. It might not have been their dream home,
Right.
but that's where they started, and they lived there for 5-10 years, and then they were able to buy the homes that they wanted. So I think that's great advice for our listeners. Jennifer, you were mentioning something about the Seattle people kind of making the market down here rise a little bit.
Yes, he touched on that. He actually covered that. But one of the things that they touched on was about the tax write-off, because when you're renting from someone else, you don't have a tax write-off.
That's
Right.
But when you begin to purchase, you get tax write-off. And so where a lot of middle class are saying, the rich are getting all the tax write-offs, which in a lot of cases they are, there are ways we as middle income and working income people can obtain tax write-offs, and real estate property is one of them. Our cars are not. So having
Very true.
those humongous cars can possibly hurt your credit, but it definitely is taking money away from your being able to purchase a home.
I would have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I've been driving my same car for 7 years. I'm in that I want a new car phase. But I don't want a new car payment.
Oh, and insurance.
Yes,
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. I'd rather put that money to the side every month, that money that I would put out on a new car, and just stack that to the side and hold on to it and purchase a new home, because that's where our head is at right now.
Yeah.
You guys, so we were talking about credit earlier and the different markets. What makes this area down here, like Pierce County, Thurston County, a little bit better advantage right now than the Seattle market, besides the price points?
Well, affordability is number one, but then we have our traffic Well, it's getting bad. Our traffic is not as bad as Seattle, so that's one thing. And then we have the transit system that makes it easy for us to get to all the places that we want to go. But you can live here. I think our communities are a lot better. We talk about safety. I think a lot of our areas are a little bit safer. But schools, are important as well. A lot of people are becoming more homeschoolers because talk about schools, it's kind of crazy when you send your kid out the door, you never know. So I think schools are better. And, I just think being down in this area, you just have a lot more options. Down here, you can get to a lot of different places. You got the coast, you got the east, you got Oregon, all that good stuff. So just getting to a lot of the things that people do for fun outdoors. It's just
closer to the ocean, closer to the mountain.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Yep.
And Kim, you're the expert on this. I honestly don't know. Is the inventory level a little bit more flexible down here in Pierce County than it is up in King?
Well, I was watching a report, and it said that King County right now is got about a month worth of inventory. And they said at the rate they're going, next month it might be about 2 weeks worth of inventory because people are more qualified now than they were because they're getting more educated on the things that they need to do. And I think everybody is a member of Credit Karma, so they're watching their stuff, and that's good. They're watching their stuff and they're pulling the trigger. Again, we got to make sure we're doing the right things. But I think that we just got to, continue to keep doing what we're doing because people are educated, people are smart, but we just got to make sure we're doing the right things and talking to the right people, which would be me and Rob. Call me 253-691-4100.
Perfect.
There you go. So you guys would. Oh,
can I throw something in here?
Of course,
Kim. Because Kim, you've been quiet. You're being very humble, but Kim is a nationally known realtor. You've been on the front cover of magazines. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not just bringing you anyone. We're bringing you people that are in the know, that are nationally recognized, that can give you what you need in order to get the home that you need. And if you have any questions, Natasha, would you give them the number to call in on at KLAY 1180 AM?
Of course, that's 253-581-0324 or 253-581-0326. Kim, tell them where they can find you again, your website, your phone number.
My phone number is 253-691-4100. My email is kimkeel@kw.com. My website is kimberlykeelstahoviak@kw.com. And I tell you guys, I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I love, love, love what I do. I love handing people their keys, whether our transaction has been a great one or a tough one. At the end of the day, giving people their keys, watching kids run into their room, watching their dogs run out into their backyard, having people own a piece of God's green earth, because it's all a privilege that we all have, and we all should take advantage of it. And we all can purchase homes, especially African Americans and minorities. I'm telling you guys, you've got to get out there. You've got to get yourselves cleaned up. You got to make, a way for our kids, show them that everybody, including you and them, can be homeowners. I mean, it's your right. You should do it. And being responsible and taking care of the things you need to take care of and providing your family with a home, leaving a legacy for your grandkids and great grandkids to fight over. So it's good times right now. It's good times. And we got to put, the cell phones down once in a while and talk to people, get on the phone, call realtors, go to open houses, talk and find out what's really going on. Get yourself a good realtor like myself. I've been with Keller Williams. I mean, it's like the best company ever because here, and I've been in my 20 years to a lot of different companies. I mean, from the smallest ones, Dove to Remax, I've been to them all. And I've always come back to Keller because Gary Keller is a very smart man, and what he does is he wants each and every person at Keller Williams to succeed. They offer profit sharing to us who build the company. I mean, when Donna's my sister and she's my marketing manager. When we first got in the business, we recruited like 16 people to our team. And these were most of the people that I sold homes to. They look at me, oh, this is easy and this is fun. Let me get my license. And you know what? We recruit them, and it's a great second job for people. So if you're interested and need a little extra money, I'm happy to, and I love that as well. I'm happy to educate, show people the ropes, because I'm getting up there. I need to be, just sitting on a beach, emailing people, and while you guys are out here working, and share my knowledge. Because is it a great business? Yes, it is. Is it easy? No, it's not. I mean, people think that it's easy, but you have to be able to negotiate deals, especially in a time like the market the way it is now, because this is no joke. People aren't playing. I mean, buyers get very frustrated because, so this last week, for example, I've written probably, I think it was Wednesday night, I wrote 7 offers. 4 of them for one person, 3 of them for another person, because we got to get the multiple offers out there, because with the way the market is, oh, the property's on the market, we're going to wait for a week before we respond to you. Well, in that week, all these other houses could be passing you by. So you got to have an agent like me who's on top of it. And yeah, I haven't probably slept more than 3 hours, in the past 2 weeks a night. But
you'll sleep when it's not so
when
busy.
Right. But it's just, and it's exciting. I like it. So it's a tough market, and I'm here to help. Like I was saying with my company, they educate you on everything. They educate you on how to get the business, how to find the business, how to keep the business, how to grow the business. I do have a team. It's me, my sister's my marketing manager. I have Jeremy Valerie Watson, who is my transaction manager, and he is the best because he frees up, once I do a purchase and sale, he frees up all my time because he moves a transaction, does all the, sit down behind the scenes work. And then I have Dodo Kukulamena, who is from Africa, and he's one of my buyer's agents, and he speaks several different languages. So if any of you guys have any language barriers, come see me. We can get that taken care of. I have Teresa, who does a lot of my Facebook posting. Oh, and we do have our Facebook page. It's the Keel Group on Facebook. Come see me there, where you can ask questions. If you don't want to, a lot of people kind of, I don't want to call a realtor yet. I don't. Hit me up there. You can ask all the questions that you want. We can get back to you. We do live open houses and things like that. But you got to do something. Okay, don't just sit behind your computer and click, because you're going to get a bunch of emails from these agents who really, are just sending out emails. But call me, come to my office, sit down, and let's make it real. Let's get started.
And Kim, I have to tell you, I know you and your sister, and I know you're real. You're not just trying to make a dollar. You're truly trying to find homes for people, and you're not trying to put people in homes that's going to cause another crisis like we had in 2007, where the realtors and mortgage companies were only looking out for themselves and them getting the almighty dollar, and then people ended up losing their homes, their credits were destroyed, and a lot of those homes are still sitting empty.
They are, yep.
But that's not who you are. That's not what you're trying to do. And now that I've said that, let me think of one other thing. Those homes are still sitting empty. Is there a way people can obtain those homes?
Yeah, if you got cash. I mean, most of the ones that are sitting empty are going to require to be pretty much gutted. And, if they're not, a lot of them have issues where first-time home buyers have to have homes that are, what was the word, Rob? What did you say when you do an FHA appraisal, what's the term you use when we're
They do a safe and sound
safe
inspection.
and
yeah.
sound. Thank you. Yes.
Is
yes.
the home safe and sound? Yeah.
Yep. And I have the most fabulous inspector, Matt Sorensen with West Coast Home Inspections. I mean, this guy will tell you top to bottom, and sometimes he tells you way too much. I'm like, don't scare people, Matt. But he does. He tells you like it is. And he always does. But, then you make your own decision. Some things are horrible. Some things are not. Buyers have to feel confident in the things that they choose to have to deal with at the time. But they have to qualify with FHA or VA constraints. If you're going conventional, there's a lot more flexibility with your home. Yeah, but you got to have better credit, and you're putting more money down when you're walking in the door.
Right.
So, again, and I thank the caller. Jeannie, what's her name?
Gigi.
Gigi, I thank you so much because you're right. I could be in Bellevue or Issaquah selling multi-million-dollar homes, but my heart and my passion is right here in good old Pierce County with the first-time buyers, because I was one at one point. Took me a long time. Same thing. I got out of college and got me a car and some credit cards and messed it all up, and that was that. Until I got with Keller Williams and decided, hey, I gotta get a great career, and I gotta do something that's gonna be meaningful to me. And there's nothing else I could be doing that could mean so much to me right now. So helping people get into homes.
I think what you said earlier, Kim, when you were talking about watching the kids run into their rooms and the dog run into the backyard, and I think that's very rewarding within itself, and it has to be a good feeling to be able to pass those keys to someone that that you're not renting this. This is yours.
This is yours.
Yeah.
And they love it, and they appreciate it, and that just brings tears to my eyes. So let's change the subject. I get so emotional about that.
I love seeing a family, and I've had clients of mine send me pictures from their first Christmas. First Christmas in a house that they own.
Right.
Where they put the tree, and how they decorate.
And they don't ever have to move again if they don't want to.
Nope.
Ever, never.
Nope. That's theirs.
We hope they do, but they don't.
That is awesome. So Rob, we only got a couple minutes left. So Rob, when people are looking for homes, because I know you're with Academy Mortgages, what do you do for them exactly, so everyone can understand the difference between the realtor and the mortgage company?
Terrific. So I'll take a mortgage application. I will run your credit. I will perform what we call a debt-to-income ratio analysis. That's going to tell me how much home you qualify for, how much you're approved to buy. And then once we have that information, we can get that information to Kim. Then she can start looking for homes that fit in those parameters. I don't want somebody wasting their time looking at a $500,000 house when what they qualify for is $250,000.
Right.
Gotcha.
We're gonna point you in the direction of the homes that you qualify for and can afford to buy.
Gotcha.
That's
and you
the
guys,
real
and
back end.
that is the end of our time today. I want to just thank Kim and Rob for coming on. You guys, the Street Talk Radio Show with Natasha Nicole and Jennifer Gigi Ferguson.
Yay.
And Gigi for U.S. Senate.
Don't forget that, you guys.
Thank you, Gigi.
Bye.